I wish to assure you that you are still assets of the party, and we shall make use of the talents and experience that you have garnered. The party needs you and will continue to rely on you as we seek to win election 2024 and change the destiny of the suffering people of Ghana. We must remain one solid family. Let me emphasize and urge all of us as members of the NDC to rededicate ourselves, commit our energies and resources to work hard to win 2024. I assure you of my open-mindedness, my open-door policy, and my commitment to run a government that will be based on merit and competence. Let me reaffirm my unshaken commitment to offer the needed support to our parliamentary candidates and all constituencies to make certain that we secure a healthy majority in the next parliament. What this means for our party is that we must conclude the outstanding parliamentary elections as soon as possible so that we can focus our resources on the campaign for the upcoming national elections. I assure you that together with the National Chairman, the General Secretary and other executives, we will plan and campaign very vigorously with clear objectives and strategic outcomes. We owe it as a duty to our country to do so, and we shall. On this note, as I dissolve my innovative, hard-working and successful campaign coordinating team led by Professor Joshua Alabi, I wish to thank the team, my staff, my security, the media, the NDC regional chairman, regional and constituency campaign teams, and of course my wife Lordina, my children, and my siblings, some of whom are here. Stand up, let them see you. Thank you. Thank you. And my siblings, and all others who were on this journey with me. I can never repay you for your generosity, dedication, and love for me and for our country, Ghana. Let's hold on to hope. Ladies and gentlemen, we must urgently commence building the Ghana we want together, because our dear nation Ghana is sailing through perilous seas. Our socio-economic foundation as a nation has in the last few years not only been threatened, but has been fractured and dislocated. Corruption and the raid on the public purse have come to a crescendo. The rights of citizens, including journalists, no longer matter to this government. In the last 2 years, Ghana has dropped on the Press Freedom Index. Our national health insurance scheme is comatose. The scheme is starved of funds by the government capping policy and the refusal to release proceeds of the National Health Insurance Levy to the National Health Insurance Authority. Patients are faced with an empty scheme that only ensures retrieval of their medical folders and consultation. Even basic drugs such as analgesics, cough mixtures, and antibiotics must be purchased by patients themselves from the drugstores. For the first time in our history, retirees and the middle class are facing the existential threats to their survival and financial stability due to gross mismanagement of our economy by a grossly inept finance minister and economic management team. For the first time in known memory, newborn babies are unable to access the full complement of their childhood vaccines. Yet these newborns and the younger generation also face the heavy burden of inheriting a suffocating national debt which stands at almost 600 billion Ghana cedis, the equivalent of over 100% of our GDP. Only a fortnight ago, the government recalled members of parliament, and the main purpose for this recall was to approve a further $710 million, more debt to compound the already choking national debt. Ladies and gentlemen, the lack of vision and prospects by government is patently discomforting. And that is why we have no option but to win election 2024. This is to reset our country on a path of transformation for progress and prosperity. I come to you, the good people of Ghana, and I say there's hope for our country. That hope will emanate from our very selves as a resilient nation, a people with a passionate appetite for progress and prosperity, a people capable of rising from the ashes of catastrophe like a phoenix to build a stronger and smarter nation to serve our needs and wants. This hope also springs from a leadership that is willing to accept responsibility and fix the problems rather than pass the buck. A leadership that is honest and does not lie to its people. A leadership that is consultative and willing to build a consensus in solving the challenges that confront Ghanaians in their daily lives. I have an unshakable conviction. I believe and I know Ghana shall rise again. My vision for our beloved Ghana aligns with your expectations for a better Ghana, one that we're going to build together. Beyond my vision, ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution also gives us hope. It creates the foundation for our fourth Republican democracy, a democratic dispensation that is still the best form of government and which we must guard and protect. Because however abysmal and appalling the performance of a government is, the people have an opportunity to make a change at the next election. Clearly, the Akufo-Addo and Bawumia NPP administration has failed to meet the expectations of the Ghanaian people, and they must prepare to bow out at the next election. And they must start preparing their handing over notes. And get ready to account to the people of Ghana for their stewardship. Yes, there is hope for our country. I firmly believe in our collective ability as a party to lead a transformation agenda that restores decent values, revives youthful aspirations and ambitions. Ours will be a progressive government that provides equal opportunities for decent and sustainable livelihoods. I'm convinced that by working together with Ghanaians, we shall turn Ghana's hopelessness and gloom today into a better and brighter tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, let me dwell a bit on the destructive elephant in the room, which is the economy. Literally and figuratively, the government's economic management team has displayed grave incompetence, mismanaged Ghana's economy, and inflicted severe hardships on Ghanaians, including the elderly and the young. Ghanaians now know the address of the so-called solid economic management team, in quotes. The chairman and members of this economic management team have become the butt of jokes in people's homes, in the marketplaces, in restaurants, on social media, and on the airwaves because of their misguided commentaries both in opposition and government. As a leader, your word should always be truthful. It should be sincere and honest. It should count for something. If you are not truthful, you lose the trust of the people. As inflation rises, employment has not improved but has worsened. In 2016, all the sector, which stood at 7.9% to 4.5% in 2022. And the construction sector has gone down from 8.4% in 2016 times. Coupled with credit rating agencies downgrading Ghana, I ask, what has happened to the unprecedented resources that have accrued to the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government since 2017? No government in our fourth republic has had the sheer amount of resources that have been made available to this particular government. And yet they have been unrelenting in hiding the truth. The fact, however, remains that by March 2020, the pre-COVID era in Ghana, the national debt had already increased by 100 billion within 3 short years. And this shows a steep rise from the 120 billion in 2016 to 225 billion in 2019. Indeed, the budget deficit of 7.5% recorded in 2018 had at that time exceeded the legally accepted threshold of 5%. Ladies and gentlemen, the combined effect of the critical economic indices before COVID-19 and after COVID-19 points to one truth. The immutable truth is that the NPP has blatantly mismanaged the economy of this country. And we cannot allow them to continue holding Ghana's progress in reverse gear. Ghana is not for a few people alone. Ghana is for all of us and generations yet unborn. As I said, we must rise like the phoenix, rising from the ashes, renew, reform, and liberate ourselves from this misrule on December 7th, 2024. And this is why I'm running for president in 2024. And this is why you voted massively for me on Saturday, May 13th, 2024. I've proposed a raft of measures and referred the government to our NDC 2020 manifesto for policy alternatives. These measures still apply today because we are neck deep in an economic crisis. The first thing, government must take responsibility for this messy economy arising from its reckless borrowing and mismanagement of the country. This is going to be one of the immediate actions of my government, God willing, when voted into office. I'll lead a process to set a standardized limit for public borrowing. Government has refused to cut expenditure by reducing the size of government and adjusting the compensation and allowances of appointees and profligate expenditure. The president is rather appointing more people and continuing to recklessly overspend. Only recently, he appointed a CEO for mortuaries and funerals. John Mahama and NDC government will respond to the concerns of the Ghanaian people proactively and drastically cut down on the number of ministers and other government appointees. There will be no room for wasting the taxpayers' money on the comfort of government officials. The NDC will reconsider the tax exemption regime, ensuring that any exemptions that are given are beneficial to the Ghanaian people. We'll further ensure that the extractive sector operates within a mutually beneficial tax environment for the stability of our exchange rate. We'll seek to make Ghana benefit more from its finite natural resources, and will encourage indigenously owned Ghanaian businesses that have the technology and capacity to operate their own productive mining concessions by themselves to do so. We have done it before, and we will do it again. Together with my team, we will enhance investor confidence in our country to attract credible domestic and foreign investors, especially in the manufacturing and light industry sector. This we will do by being transparent and not concealing economic data, such as the budget deficit, public debt, and our net international reserve. Even as we await the board of the International Monetary Fund's approval for Ghana's requested bailout by the end of May or June this year, we expect that the finance minister will urgently present a mid-year review budget to Parliament, which would include any agreements they might have reached with the fund, and also one that critically cuts down government expenditure. The 2023 budget and financial statement presented to Parliament last November currently is riding on stilts with no stability. And this is why I insist government must immediately, upon approval of Ghana's program by the fund, review the 2023 budget to reflect the realities of our economic situation today. My fellow Akatamonsonians, fellow countrymen and women, unemployment is a national security crisis today. Unemployment is at its highest level in the history of Ghana. And what must be done to help in ameliorating the challenge has not been done. From January 2025, the next NDC administration will work to transform our economy, diversify our exports, ensure value addition to our production to create more jobs. Agriculture and agribusiness shall be one of the key anchors of our economic transformation plan. We will launch a program akin to the Operation Feed Yourself and Feed Your Industries program of the early 1970s. This is geared to make Ghana self-sufficient in basic staples and curb unnecessary imports. We will seek to make indigenous entrepreneurs capture, in quotes, the commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy. In our previous stint in government, we sought to achieve this by strategically prioritizing the Tamni irrigation project, rehabilitating the Via and Tono irrigation projects, all in the Upper East region. We supported the Avnash rice processing factory here in Yankpala in the northern region. We provided fish storage facilities along the entire coastline of Ghana, and we prepared the Commander Sugar Factory for takeoff in the central region, amongst others. In the non-agricultural sector, the Wakang ceramic factory, which came alive in the western region, and the Savannah cement factory are but a few of the examples of employment opportunities we created when we were in office. And remember, we also injected 51 million Ghana cedis into the pharmaceutical sector for expansion and job creation. And our foresight became a windfall when COVID-19 struck our shores. Let me restate what I said in Ho during the launch of my campaign for flag bearer. I said we shall promote robust local participation in our banking and financial, telecommunications, tourism, mining, agribusiness, and manufacturing sectors to grow our economy and create sustainable employment for our youth. We will restore indigenous Ghanaian investment in the financing and banking sector. And we will create a tiered banking system that will serve various segments of the market. We will give the opportunity for experienced banking hands who were laid off and needlessly to secure their careers once more and move away from the menial jobs that they were compelled to take. As far as practicable, the banking licenses that were unjustly cancelled by this government will be restored. Ladies and gentlemen, our nation is still at the crossroads with crippling debts and an inefficient and wasteful government. We cannot continue this pathway. It is a betrayal of our people as a leader to keep doing things the same way when the results leave them poorer. I am committed to operating an effective government with no more than 60 ministers. These ministers, together with other appointees of the government, will not be entitled to ex gratia payments after their tenure. As I will make them commit to that undertaking even before the necessary constitutional amendments, including a review of the controversial Article 71, is carried out. I share the view that Ghanaians in the diaspora must no longer have to renounce their foreign citizenship before they can stand for elections or hold public office in Ghana. I personally believe that most of them make up for their absence with the remittances that they send. And definitely if conditions improve, a lot of them will return home to work here in Ghana. In fact, some Ghanaians in the diaspora have proven to be extremely beneficial to our country. Take for instance Professor Frimpong Boateng of the Cardiothoracic Center fame, who returned from Germany to establish the Cardio Center and has saved many Ghanaian lives. Since the professor's return, he has contributed his significant bit in medicine and in politics. And only recently, an Al Jazeera documentary accusing President Akufo-Addo and his government of organized crime in collusion with a foreigner, it also emerged that the heart surgeon had 2 years ago boldly exposed the duplicity of the MPP government in the fight against Galamsey. His report has opened a can of worms, which I know this president, in his usual manner, will sweep under the carpet, just as many corruption scandals have been cleared by who is called the clearing agent. We shall pursue this matter further and make sure that justice is done. The truth is that this government cannot just wish away the reality that Ghana is not looking good on the Corruption Perception Index of Transparency International. The president no longer makes corruption a pet topic in any of his speeches because corruption has defeated him hands down. In the government's bid to obscure corruption, they have resorted to suppressing press freedoms and an inordinate clampdown of civil society activists, including even members of parliament who dare to expose corruption. And let me assure you, as I stated in Garu in the Upper East during my campaign tour, that I will adopt a robust root and branch approach to fighting corruption. Because corruption is a major source through which state resources are lost. It will not matter whether the people involved in the corruption are our own people or from some other party. We will continue the constitution review process commenced by President John Evans Atta Mills of blessed memory, and we will carry it to its logical conclusion. This will help to plug the loopholes and clarify some clauses in our constitution and make it responsive to our current reality. My fellow Tamansonians, Eyezu, Eyeza, Ehejo, Emefa, hey, 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 thank you. I began by thanking you, my party delegates, for voting massively for me on Saturday. And I promise that I will fulfill every promise I made to you during my visits to your constituencies. All the promises I made in the 16 regions of Ghana between March and 12 May 2023, I intend to fulfill. I'll be working with the national chairman, the general secretary, and the leadership of our party to build a formidable National Democratic Congress, one that every Ghanaian will be proud to associate with. And Ghanaians should keep in mind that the NDC has provided the most impactful socio-economic and development projects across the length and breadth of this country. I make a firm promise to ensure that our 2024 campaign is fully decentralized by empowering our branches to lead the voter mobilization and voting day canvassing. And they will be supported by the constituency and regional executives, and of course by national and the flag bearer. Empowering the branches and motivating them and ensuring that we deploy the needed material and logistics, I remain convinced will help our campaigning and canvassing in 2024. We must all embrace and support an equitable distribution of party logistics to the branches, because this will strengthen the branches and encourage competition, even as we plan to reward each branch adequately for meeting the targets that we're going to set them in 2024. In the next few months, we'll begin redeeming our promise to help constituencies that currently do not own their own offices to acquire offices. And we'll commence the organization of periodic orientation and training programs by our party school for all our executives. Ladies and gentlemen, and the millions following us from Ghana and across the world, as I conclude before I take my seat, I want to reiterate some of the other commitments I made to the people of Ghana on the campaign tour. I want you to remember them so that you can hold me accountable when I come into office. I will keep these promises when I assume office on January 7th, 2025, God willing. We will restore stability and inclusive growth in the economy, and we shall rejuvenate the almost collapsed banks and the financial sector. And this will involve sweeping reforms at the Bank of Ghana, because the central bank itself has been a part of creating this problem. I'll create the foundation that will ensure that Ghana will never suffer such a deadly debt management program that threatens to send our elderly people holding government bonds to an early grave and wipe out the investments of the Ghanaian middle class. I'll prioritize local participation in the banking, financial, telecoms, mining, oil and gas, agriculture, manufacturing and construction sectors to generate more jobs for our youth. The Ghanaian young men and women we interact with on a daily basis and their colleagues in other African countries are simply tired of the jobless GDP figures. We will actively attract viable and serious private sector investors to partner government to invest in the productive sectors of this country for more jobs to be created. I will advocate strongly the return of investors who have left because of the poor management of this economy by NPP. This will involve an emphasis on agriculture and agribusiness, and will have a strong focus on making Ghanaians own their own micro enterprises. I'll complete abandoned and ongoing projects instead of rushing to start new ones. We will carry out an inventory of all hospitals, schools, electrification, water and road projects which have stalled or been abandoned, and we will make an annual budgetary allocation for their completion. Beyond the economic front, we will also be very strong on governance, because transparent and accountable governance at all levels remains an assured fuel that fires the socio-economic transformation of successful nations. In that regard, we will establish a governance advisory council to help improve political governance, curb corruption, and ensure the respect of human rights. This council will include representatives of civil society organizations, religious leaders, traditional leaders, and ordinary Ghanaians. And amongst others, they will be empowered to release a State of Governance in Ghana report every year. This report will guide government in fine-tuning our good governance record. And as I said already, I'll run the leanest but most efficient government under the Fourth Republic by appointing not more than 60 ministers and deputy ministers. And I said already, I'll work to abolish the payment of ex gratia and cut out waste and ostentation in government. We shall work with Parliament and all stakeholders to complete the Constitution review process and strengthen the separation of powers. Government procurement is recognized as a major source of corruption and misappropriation of public funds. We will therefore, among other measures, set up an independent value for money office to scrutinize all government procurements that are above a $5 million threshold, or as shall be recommended by Parliament. I will give anti-corruption state institutions unfettered space to operate. The days of the clearing agents must come to an end on January 7, 2025. I'll also set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the matter of looted and stolen state lands. And the same commission will make recommendations for resolving the vexed issue of expropriated Gardangbe lands. And to deepen our democracy, the fourth estate of the realm, the media must also be given a conducive and collaborative atmosphere to operate as the fourth power that they ought to be, without threats, harassment, and assassinations. In this regard, we shall speed up the investigation of the assassination of Ahmed Swale. And the perpetrators shall surely be brought to book. We are starting off in earnest, and I'll be outlining other policies and strategies in the course of the 2024 campaign and also in our 2024 manifesto conversations. Let me emphasize that Ghana is in this severe and acute financial distress, with suffocating levels of unemployment due to the reckless mismanagement of the economy by the Akufo-Addo government. But there is hope, and that hope can be fast-tracked if we choose vision with experience over try me and experiment, especially at this crucial time in our nation's life. The NDC delegates have shown the way by electing me with a definite 98.9%, or in mathematical terms, you always adjust to the nearest number. And so 98.9% is 99%. And this is indicative of their elevated faith and conviction in my ability to provide honest, visionary, and responsible leadership. They did so not only based on our solid record of achievements, but also on the concrete, sincere assurances I've given to transform our cherished country, Ghana, by building the Ghana we want together. That transformation will demand your cooperation, and that cooperation begins from today. In building the Ghana we want together, we will need you, every Ghanaian, including the disappointed NPP members. Including the disappointed NPP members who are appalled by the arrogance, untruthfulness, mismanagement, corruption, and nepotism of their own government. I invite all such persons to join us in this rebuilding mission. We will also need you, every Ghanaian who wants to have a project or program in agriculture, including horticulture, aquaculture, small businesses, manufacturing, construction services, extractive industry, but has been impeded by the illicit demands of officials of this government. The next NDC government is your home. We will need you, every Ghanaian who believes that merit must be recognized and compensated, and not favoritism taking the center stage. And we will need you if you genuinely believe we have had enough of the incompetence and mismanagement of this government over the last 6.5 years. Enough is indeed enough. Ghanaians have suffered enough hardship and misrule from this bungling and rapacious Akufo-Addo administration. Let us complete the task we have started by campaigning day and night for your humble servant, John Dramani Mahama. And also campaign for all our parliamentary candidates elected across the country. My brothers and sisters, I urge you to campaign vigorously in every corner of the country, on radio, on television, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. And even in your private conversations. NDC members, our sympathizers, our supporters, I make you this promise. For all those who will vote for, propel the NDC into office, and with a team led by me, by the grace of God, we are ready and willing with the vision and experience to build the Ghana we want together with you. Ladies and gentlemen, victory will not only be for NDC, it will be for the whole nation Ghana in December 2024. And when this victory comes, there shall be work and happiness for all Ghanaians. I thank you, and God bless us all, and God bless our homeland Ghana. Thank you.
Development our God, from vision to vision, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. From vision to vision, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. Victory! Victory! It's our land. Victory! It's our land. JJ is a winner. Arise for Ghana, of the truck of the land. Farewell and secure future. Development our goal. From vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity. From vision to victory, the NDC shall lead. Stable democrat, Ghana, our
Today on Newsbreak, it's the shocking state of the nation now. It is clear for all to see our nation in deplorable condition. Ghanaians continue to wonder, how did we get to this point?
Wait, doesn't Ghana belong to all of us?
And not some few individuals.
You just read my mind.
Why must someone come and spoil all that has been built for over 60 years and we still need to build it again?
It's all because of the future of our children and their children. Building the Ghana we all want together.
Ladies and gentlemen, and of course, that's the man whose name sends shivers down the spines of the elephant. He's a visionary leader, he's a builder, he's a unifier, and of course, he will build the Ghana that we want. And let's give him a round of applause once again, ladies and gents. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. On behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, his beautiful wife, Mrs. Lodina Dramani Mahama, First Lady in Waiting, the campaign coordinator of the John Dramani Mahama for flag bearer race and his team, the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asedun Ketia, the general secretary, Mr. Fifi Kwete, all national, regional, constituency and branch executives here in presence, members of parliament, former appointees and executives, invited guests, Nanama, our chiefs, invited guests, and of course the good people of Tamale, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to, on behalf of His Excellency, say a very big thank you to all of you for making it here this afternoon to the University of Development Studies Multipurpose Auditorium for the post-election acceptance address of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama after winning an overwhelming 98.9, round up to 99% at the just ended primaries of the NDC. That deserves a round of applause, please. Indeed, the NDC is on the way to the Jubilee House come 7th of January 2025, and today marks the beginning of that journey of building the Ghana that we want together, with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at the forefront of that journey. I'd also like to take advantage of the opportunity to acknowledge the media for the immense support shown this event by carrying it live across the length and breadth of this country. We could not have done this without you. And to all of you who joined us on live TV, on radio, and of course on social media, we say thank you very much. And to all of you in the auditorium, Tapoya Kapa Pam Mungode Asan Kushun Yadamwase. My name is Eura Adams Karim, and of course this event was proudly put together and produced by Mr. Stan Dogbe and his Wezo TV team. A round of applause as well for them. And a quick announcement, the national executives, I'm informed that the bus that brought you in is at the same location it parked, and so from here you're kindly asked to join the bus because your flight is almost due. Thank you all so much for your time. The MPs, Northern Regional MPs, please, you're kindly invited to the stage. MPs, Northern Regional MPs, please, you are invited to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming. A huge round of applause to all of you, and of course, we appreciate your time with us. Thank you.
Demi tebesu, yalam kutuda, sahum kutuda, mana kutuda, bom tatai, bom yilnama, nerensu, demi tebesu, tarag malaga yilnama, nerensu, demi tebesu, shawuna amalulu, amalulu, amalulu. Gajia, Jamia Tuoli, Jamia Tuoli, Calaurinanga, and I Bolanti.
Onua TV, Onua TV, you're gonna hope out.
Onua TV, you're gonna hope out.
I go, spices. I go.
Ekoye.
There was still seasoning powder and a jollof seasoning powder. I feel beef seasoning powder.
Ayiko. Ekoye.
I go, spices. I go, spices.
Hey, Auntie Ayiko. Ekoye.
Your friend Auntie Ayiko, so we are quite froye ana jollofa for Ayiko seasoning powder kakraka home. A woman nikuye, your chicken, beef, jollof, and stew seasoning powder. So make Ayiko no what Jimmy so say. Ekoye.
Ubenya Ayiko biato ewodrom. To phone for 0244 160 750. Ayiko Ekoye.
Am I not forgetting something?
Yes, obviously. Laura Mini.
Thank you. Can I use the washroom, please?
Sure. Flora disposable handkerchief.
You obviously aren't using Flora tissues, my dear, because the Flora tissues, they're soft and easy on the skin and they leave no particles. Are you okay? You want to use the washroom?
Yes.
Hey, broke uncle. I will tell Auntie.
Fracture me. I just love how it feels.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
To be sure, the near for Yadi Brena or my Dimpa Natural Health Clinic, Kumasi di Chemswa. Maon Kase for Yadi any IRSA. So what the area peptic, gastric, duodenal ulcer, acid reflux, GERD, and H. pylori. She Dimpa Natural Health Clinic, Kumasi di Chemswa. Dimpa Natural Health Clinic, Yaresabia, Yadanson, a free set, quite a fast year with Awo nipaduamu ayesronko kra enenti ye detox machine aye de twen efin ebro a aba nipa brabo mu ntiama afi wono maduro kra enye adwuma wo onso ana ye said ne kwa afidi efe no blood circulation machine na ye boa ma moja tumi di afusa ne ye sanso so wo chair massage a eboa ema ne ti na chi ne sisi nyina no moja atumi edi afusa ne ye ye hwe all chronic cases na mom de ta ka ho asem pa ye fumu hawa hodo se oyefo ya de no ama oyam na tutu ana wo boa no ana ama okoko na eyire tan wo de no ama uti na ye wo ya uti mu ase bibiri na mutiri mu ama uti ya wo ya den na me kasa inexplicable headaches wo de no se uri di me ya asem ekom de wa ya asem wana wo de no aya ma wadwe kra ye wo se eye hunhumu asem efrise edu anadwo a untumi na afe titriti oda na wonsa titriti ona titriti because there is poor blood circulation na obi wo ha ne de no asinachi te sade obi a wanya accident anase bibi akoso wo nachi obi de ates nachi te sade bibi abu wo ho se ukoye test ya kire mu se H. pylori and Helicobacter pylori no enebium and gastritis. Dimpa Natural Health Clinic ayo Kumasi Dichemso. Yen I specialize ewo yefuyade ehwemu. Enu nti na yenya abasobode as the best center for the treatment of stomach ulcer cases. There were a variety of products, both foreign and local head. Assembia ni ho, assembia ni achire. Afe ye wo de adehwe mane meme nyinara. Ye wo de adehwe ya funumu, de adehwe ma emoja di afusa ne ye. Enompeni ntintini ye wo Onua adehwe ni nyinara.
Medin de nana joa de mayana ne. So ba dimpa share na wo hu nsisaya. E wo se wo hu se enu na e de ama ne nto aso e na ebeboa ma yare na se etukra.
Kwasam ne se ye nu no nye nu ane bo ye de pi. Si ehunu se de oha no te a ebetumi e de enu abro ye deliveries. Ba bia wo bia no se nye Kumasi na wo.
Am I not forgetting something?
Yes, obviously. Laura Mini.
Thank you. Can I use the washroom, please?
Sure. Flora disposable handkerchief.
You obviously aren't using Flora tissues, my dear, because the Flora tissues, they're soft and easy on the skin and they leave no particles. Are you okay? You want to use the washroom?
Yes.
Hey, broke uncle. I will tell auntie.
Fat Jimmy, I just love how it feels.
Onua TV. Onua TV. Ya dwene wo ho pa.
Onua TV. Ya dwene wo ho pa.
Ebusian for me mamu nyina kwa ba e de mobile Sanviv Media College. Where we SS, where we JHS, where we university, we police, we eduma bia we bia nsam twa eduma de obetuma besua aka ho na won so we a Sanviv mpanifo ama baby aya attachment ni ya make sure say baby a we attachment no ehwa na we eduma hwe Sanviv Media College se me ka se me di school we ho adanse a adaje kora beboye esanse school no se ne me kan ye no e ba ya che 7 years ni akire na hwe na no kora ye graduation yeto yensa frem penifo bebre ononyamfo ba tampa Mavis Hawa Kumsin onu na ye MP a owo kasoa onu so na ye Minister for Fishery and Aquaculture odi nanu onyam be pie dwumadie nase na oba ye no odi enfutuo pa de mansem trofo odi ansa na mewie no momme yenkotie MP efutuo yi emra sisia
Mr. Be responsible journalist. Do responsible journalism.
Abusia Sanviv Media College ye courses bebre. Courses be to say broadcast journalism, journalism and media studies, media law and ethics, public relations, sound engineering, graphic designing, video editing, social media management and blogging, acting. Me pacho bibi bia ye e was Sanviv Media College.
Assalamu alaikum. Manina da baba nina da yayani na duka. Suna na Fatima Mahmud. Ina zuwa Sanviv Media College. Inde kuna so ku yi aiki kan radio, TV station, inda duka ke so ka yi aiki. Ina gwada mu kaman ku zo mu Sanviv Media College. Ko ni ma nan nake in kika zo nan kin samu aikin hannunkin da baki regret. Nagode mu.
Sanviv Media College Ghana Education Service any ICM UK Ajiatu.
As a professional photographer and videographer, may recommend this Sam Viv Media College at the Mount.
Sam Viv Media College. So put your training, radio news, put your TV juma, so can news, so we could take some Sam Viv Media College.
Order for Sam Viv Media College and what dance here and a media at the actual and nunti me patron ponko school that. Na mo pesa wo yan sam tro ni a wo de bra ye wo kwan ye be fa so amunko school da no ye be kire ma de na wo so watumi atena radio so anase TV so na wa ye adwuma no wo sa ampa adwuma we enye school asem o be ye de aboa o man Ghana e mo man Ghana fa no ntuma pefra
me nua me din ni Dr. Busia ana me bansu ni friend Vivian o ba ha yesua de e de na o pese wo ye o pese wo ye comedy anase o acting uba you will teach a for being able to among me a trow. Your person will be army. You bet you. Bible say, yes, so can ya and friend shem passing. Nemo ye decidiaso. Not a shrine. Talent in the media amount, and when I bow, near Pahontoma. I just will be reassure her. But more than I say, no, I see a grassy. Uber from Mubia. No afraid. Impening phone casa. Ya once on your day, that form of Nabra. Hey. Nyata me wie firi fam sika mam
da na uda so kai
ube hu school we yachiri kwan e wo kasoa mfimfim mantem kasoa Ninyanu road post office no opposite ube tumi afre Sam Viv Media College mpenifo wa homan so 0543 043122 0543 043122 and 0548 635531 0548 635531 Sam Viv Media College was it say what you would do
yo adofo